Suge Knight's bail has been set, and it was so high that it literally led him to collapse in the courtroom. The judge has set the bail at $25 million, which is quite a bit of money and a little unusual in cases like this. But after all, he did run over 2 people, killing one of them, and he is going to be tried for murder and attempted murder for those cases. Now, Knight has been charged with murder in the hit-and-run death of former associate Terry Carter. He was also charged with attempted murder after striking another man with his pickup truck in the same incident in a Compton parking lot. This was the parking lot of a fast food restaurant. Now, they were apparently filming for Straight Outta Compton, which is supposed to be some sort of documentary about NWA. And there was some sort of verbal altercation, which led to the physical altercation at the fast food restaurant. Now, I should note, the 2 people that got run over were already at the fast food restaurant when Suge Knight showed up. So he was the one who kind of provoked them. So like some people have written into us, like, no, man, those 2 guys were trouble, man. They were going after Suge. Except they weren't. They weren't in a truck, and they were already at that restaurant. Suge Knight went after them. And this is also the guy who's been involved in a lot of gang violence, crazy violence, coercing people, threatening people. I mean, he's been getting away with quite a bit.
The original story, if you believe the authorities, is that Suge Knight followed those guys to the restaurant. So he's stalking them, if you believe the official story. Number 2, if you ever write in disagreeing with us, you will always have the voice of, dude, you know, you guys are saying this, so that's actually not.
Yeah.
Okay, just so you know, that's the voice you'll be having in our heads, as you're saying.
As I'm reading your emails and your tweets, that's what I hear.
Okay, now also on Suge Knight, look, it's not this case in isolation. He's done this so many times, and the judge is aware of that. And in the setting bail, he can consider that. When you're trying him, the jury and the judge, if it's the judge that's trying him, is not supposed to consider other cases. They're supposed to just decide, is he guilty on this or not? But when you're setting bail, you can see his history to see whether he's going to run, to see if he's going to do it again. And he's been charged in the past with intimidating witnesses.
Yes.
So if you let him out, he has a pretty decent chance, based on his track record, of possibly intimidating witnesses.
The judge feels Suge is a danger to be out and about given his extensive record and specifically incidents involving guns, violence, and witness intimidation. I love this, right? It's just common knowledge. Like, Suge Knight, he likes to get into a lot of trouble. Like, he's this badass who's threatening people with guns and everything, right? But in this case, since he's been locked away for doing what he did with the truck, he has passed out a total of 4 times, right? So he's like this big, tough guy, and the judge reads the bail amount, and he's like, oh.
I think that was a real life enactment. So here is your video of him passing out. So a good question is whether we believe it or not.
Get the fuck out of here. No, I don't believe it. I think he's full of shit.
Yeah, 4 times, really? And all, like, right in court? Like, he's not passing out in jail where nobody's seeing him. But when he's in front of the judge, all of a sudden his hand is like, oh, I do declare I'm feeling quite faint.
$25 million?
Woo! I'm swooning. No, look, maybe we're wrong, but I'm not buying it. Even if we're wrong, I don't care. Okay, like, oh, cry me a river. You passed out in court after you ran over the dude twice. I mean, if you saw the video, and the video is hideous, that's why I don't want to show it again. But he hits the guy, and then he runs over, right? Mm-hmm. So it's not an accident. It is, based on the video, when you see it, you're like, Jesus Christ, right? And the way that he ran over those guys was vicious. Now you want to get sympathy for passing out in court? All right, dude, that is a super ironic defense for Suge Knight, whose whole history has been, look at how tough I am.
Exactly. I love the Suge Knight case because this is probably the only time that he's actually going to pay the consequences for some of the things he's been involved in.
Yeah.
He killed someone. He killed someone and attempted to kill another person too.
Right. And I like his lawyer paints it as like, you know, it is unlikely that he would be in this kind of trouble again. I'm like, dude, no one's ever been more likely to be in this kind of trouble again. He says it's because he was the victim of 3 different gang members attacking him. He's like, what are the chances 3 other gang members would attack him again? Really high. Okay, and Suge Knight, he runs into what I love. They call him former associate of Suge Knight. It makes it sound like they're accountants.
Yeah, like they were friends.
They were friends and they were doing some accounting together when Suge decided to run over his body a couple of times. What are the chances that would happen again? And I like how you phrased it as they were having an altercation. I believe the kids call it a beef. They were having a beef.